going on, everybody? Cold. Got down to 25 last night. You're supposed to get down to 20 tonight. It's nasty. At least I got an extra weekend. So, let's see where we're at with the build here. Front still looks the same. This part here, you can see I got my 2 layers of E-tracking there. Got my 24 volt setup will be over here to power my 24 volt pump, my 12 volt battery for my engine starters, Flow Pro, remote rinse valve for the soft wash side will all be here, along with the DI tank. Let's see, ran my fuel line from under the trailer to my fuel pump right there. Got one see-through filter and then another filter there, make sure it's extra clean. Got all my bungs put in here. So this is my remote rinse valve for my 24 volt NP40. I kept all that stuff on this side of the trailer to minimize plumbing and wiring going across where I can. Step around this way through the mess. Your fuel line is installed there. You see underneath, I ran that fuel line through the front frame just in case if I have any low clearance issues, it won't sever that. And it goes right along here. Got some clamps holding it up through the floor. So aside from the mess of tools still here, we're getting somewhere. Trying to remember exactly what I did in the last video, so forgive me if I speak twice, but 8-gallon minute machine down here. I have all that routed up. I ended up mounting my downstream, or my Flow Pro here. I originally was going to do it up here. I worried about if there was a leak that it would drip down on this. And it just, the size lines, the whips that I had, it just wasn't working. I'd have either too short of a run to get to here or way too much extra. Plus, I do plan on getting Judd's newest revision of the Flow Pro, so I will be changing this out as soon as that releases. So this is easy access for that. If I need to change the injector, it's right here. Easy to mount the plumbing, easy to mount the wiring to where it's going. So I got my downstream manifold all plumbed in with my bleach and my soap, and just run them up along here. I'm actually going to have my soap tank where these 2 drills are right here in this little nook. That way it's less plumbing. If I have to fill it, I can fill it back here. If I make a mess, it's in this area, it's not up front. Shorter runs, obviously. I did put, I had a miscellaneous 2x4 that was ripped for something, so it's a little bit shorter. So I put that all the way across and caulked and painted so that if there is a leak here, it will not go further back if it's on the floor. That was the intention. So yeah, so the soap for downstream and house washing is going to go here. And then I'll get to that side in a second. I digress. So that's my 8-gallon minute hookup. My 10-gallon minute hookup is down here. Got that in. I have, let's see, I got my Flow Pro box mounted up here. That way it's, on this side, obviously associated with this. I've got my fuel pump right there that then goes to my fuel block. That will then send one line to the 10, one line to the 8, and then another one to my Comet pump. So, if you use an electric fuel pump, you have to make sure it doesn't put out any more than 3 psi. I can take this off to show you just the bottom, maybe. You can kind of see in there, the little pulse pump right there is still installed. I never took that out. I just run right to that. But if you have a fuel pump that puts out too much pressure, one, you're going to easily develop a leak where it goes onto that pump, but two, you could flood the system, flood the carburetor, and just do bad things. I'm going to be spilling fuel out internally. Underneath all that could not be fun. So I think that pump is rated for 1.5 to 3 psi max. I still have to tie up my filters for my pressure washer pumps. I think I'm going to use some of those large cable straps, the like neon orange or green ones that kind of act like a belt, or like an old sports watch where you push the thing over the little tab. I think that's what I'll use to put those up so I can pull them out easily to clean the filters if needed. I installed one of my switches here. My front one is for my fuel pump. So up will turn it on whenever I want to use my machines. And then this one is my water-fed pole pump, which is mounted right there. So that's everything on this side. This is roughly where my reels will be mounted. That way if I need to get in here, I can pull my soap tank out and get a little extra room in there. These will stack to higher when I am done. Then obviously Comet pump is over here. I just happened to have a piece of 3/4 inch OSB from something that was almost the exact size that I needed. So I decided to use this temporarily just to make sure I like the layout of everything. If I needed to move a valve or if I needed to add a switch or something, then I'll know exactly where all my mounting holes are. And I have a sheet of 1/4 inch thick aluminum that I will be replacing this with. So I just kind of threw some paint on it just to protect it a little bit, make it look just not like plain wood. But basically, I've got my, this is for the Comet pump here. It's got its own manifold now, so I don't have to worry about remembering to open my extra bypass that I blew the head off of last year. And this is my 24 volt system, manifold for the system. And basically I have 3 valves here, water, soap, and bleach. So down is my 24 volt pump, which will be tucked in right there. And then I'll just flip them all this way, or when I want it to go to the Comet pump. So having them all together in a line, I'll remember to flip all of them each time. Having no bypass, I won't have to worry about shutting that off or opening it or whatever. Much better system. So I'll have one switch here for my 24 volt pump. This other switch will be just open for if I want to add something else there. I got my drain hose for my tank up here currently. That's going to, I believe, wrap around this way and come out with a ball valve on it. I did I cut this plate off that I had on my other trailer, and I welded a piece of angle iron to the bottom. So this is going to mount right there. So then I will have my bulkheads with my 1/2 inch quick connects here. Bottom will be for my 24 volt system and top will be for the gas soft wash system. And that'll be the mounts right there. So that'll bolt to the floor. And I think that's it where we're at right now. I'm still gonna put a ladder rack up there for my ladder. I've got my bypass loop kind of held up by a little carabiner clip. So there's 25 feet coiled behind here. You don't really see it. Keeps it nice and tidy. Yeah, that's where we're at. The soap for either 24 volt or the gas soft wash pump. I've got my solenoid valve right there. I'm going to run a piece of tubing that I'm going to put a drop stick tube somewhere over here with a cap on the bottom so it's sealed, that my hose or a drop stick will sit in. So if it drips, it's contained. And I'm just going to have another carboy tank here, a little 5 gallon up front in one of the milk crates, that if I am going to use soap for one of these, I'll just grab it and I'll bring it back here and I'll set it over here, drop the drop stick in and use it, because I don't use soap with either of these hardly ever. Very rarely do I. So it'll just be a thing when I do need it, I'll bring it here. And if I end up using it a lot, I'll probably end up putting this in that little nook and then moving the pump up or something, so then it's always back here. But for right now, I don't use it much. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this is where we're at. Just gotta finish all the plumbing except for I have to put my input for the 24 volt going up here. That will finish, I think, all of my plumbing aside from the water fed pole. I still need to put my drop tube down in for that. And then it's just buttoning up the wiring, which on the 24 volt side is just connecting it to the battery. And on this side, I have to wire in my starter motor for this. And then wire that to the battery, and that's it. And then basically clean up. And I'll probably do the same thing as I'll do another video with that. And then I will wait for the final video showing theory and operation till everything is 100% done. Till I have everything loaded in here. I'll show you what I have in my toolbox then, the extra supplies I'm bringing, the chemicals that I'm going to have on board, how I'm going to have it laid out in here with my water-fed pole, where I mount it, how I mount it, my brushes, my electric sprayers, everything. I'll show you how and where all that goes. But that's it for right now. Hope everyone's staying warm, and wash on.